Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. So, today we are going to be messing around with the new hero class that ended up coming out last week, pretty much a week from today, or earlier. Of course, I wasn't around at the time, so we never really got to go and grind it out, level it up, and all that good stuff. But now we are, because this weekend does not really have anything eventful. Tomorrow we are getting the Lunar New Year pet again, so if you haven't gotten the Lunar New Year pet from last year, that's going to be available in 13 hours and 51 minutes for the entirety of the Saturday duration. So you'll be able to go do that. But other than that, yeah, we don't really have anything going on this weekend. No new content, no new nothing. So, yeah, that's the current state of this weekend. Not much, to say the least. But nonetheless, that's a good time to go catch up on things. And one of those being the most recently added hero class. Also, we got nothing good off of Adventure Board today. I feel like we've been getting some pretty bad streaks on them, but yeah, they're still consistently being bad. But of course, the new hero class that ended up coming out last week was the Archmagus. This is pretty much like a Corsair, except for purple, essentially, being able to gain you a lot of additional purple mana. As far as what it actually does, over here is the setup for it. Where'd it go? Where did it go? I'm going to Corsair. No, Archmagus. Customize. So, as far as the hero class, it's definitely not that bad. It has a the standard, kind of like what Corsair has, the +2 mana to a color. Instead of having it for blue, it has it for purple. It also gains 1 additional magic whenever it casts a spell. Few hero classes have this. All of them are good. I believe actually, never mind, there might only be 2. I know Frostmage has it. And Frostmage uses it very well, and pretty much any hero class that has it uses it very well. And this includes this one, since it has a natural half mana start. But yeah, Arcane's not that bad. You end up accumulating quite a bit of mana on it over time. As far as its typing, it does end up counting as a Silverglade Mystic. This doesn't really count for much, just because Mystics don't really have too many synergies to be able to use. Same as using multiple Silverglade troops. One pretty interesting thing about the weapon, it's a 15 mana cost purple weapon. It's basically the inverse of an Essence of Evil. It grants all positive stats effects to an ally, and then it explodes a bunch of gems of their mana color. So this will be pretty good with a single color first life if you want to go explode a certain gem, or even just on anything in general, in order to just give it every single positive stats effect. That includes things like Barrier, Submerge, Enchant, Reflect, what can I think of more? Enrage, and I think there might, Bless, and there might be one other one that I'm forgetting. But there's way less positive stats effects than there are negative stats effects, by almost double if I'm not mistaken. I believe there's about double the amount of negative than positive. So Essence of Evil in that regard is still kind of better, especially since it's more offensive anyways. However, it's definitely not bad, and it might have some utilities. I'm not actually aware of any where you would end up using this thing, but it is an option now. And it is the only thing in the currently in the game that can easily give every single positive stats effect to an ally. And as more positive stats effects get added to the game, like Reflect most recently several months back, it'll get increasingly better over time. Also, Reflection of Good. I'm pretty sure this thing does have a Reflect thing on it. I didn't actually double check its perks, because I don't think I got it upgraded. But let me double check on that. Let's see. What was it? Reflection again? So let's go see what this thing has. I did not upgrade it yet. Silence first enemy. No, they never added a perk thing for Reflect, did they? Because it would make a lot of sense that Reflection of Good would have Reflect to yourself or something whenever you cast it, or to your first slot, or, you know, something would have it. But nope, it doesn't have it. It just has gain some life, drain 3 mana from first enemy. It's not even a steal, it's just a drain. Give 1 mana to all other allies. Or sorry, to all allies, including yourself. Silence the first enemy. And give all allies 2 life. So nothing too over the top. I forget what else Essence of Evil had in comparison to this. I think Essence of Evil did get the better loadout there. Let me double check. I actually completely forget these days what Essence has. I'm pretty sure it was better. If nothing else, it was more offensive as far as what it did. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted weapon. So it gained, 10% chance for transforming a giant toad, which I believe is still the only weapon in the entire game that has that. Curse first enemy. Steal 2 mana instead of drain 3, which is better because it's a 4 mana overall trade, whereas the other one's just a 3- from the enemy. Eliminate 2 random skill points and the Quasit Summon. Those 2 aren't as good, but the other 3 are technically better. Well, I guess Silence is better than Curse in most situations, but 2 mana steals is better than a 3 mana drain. and the Hex is situationally really good whenever it does trigger. But yeah, it's pretty much just the positive version of an Essence of Evil, essentially. Oh, so we have a flash offer right now, apparently, and for the next all this weekend. Not that worth it, but if you want to go get 2 air deeds for like $2.50 each, gosh, you can get them. They charge so much for deeds. I think they charge anywhere from like $1 to like $2.50 whenever they end up trying to sell them. Of course, you get gems alongside of it. However, I don't know. I really don't feel like it's worth it. It's pretty expensive for how little deeds you're even going to be getting out of it. Though we haven't been getting much from adventure boards. Though supposedly that's 100% random. But anyways, hello everyone. Hope all of you have been doing well today. Hello JF. Hello Ellen. Hello Matt. Hello Haley. Hello George. Hello Mobarashi. Welcome, welcome. You like the reflect of good, better due to its upgrade more than its positive stat buff. Wait, what upgrade? What do you mean by that? Due to its upgrade more than its positive stat buff. The positive stats effects does have reflect? What, did I not look at it wrong? Or let me see. Yes, as far as giving it to everyone, you end up getting reflect. But the thing itself doesn't have reflect, does it? Did I read it that wrong? Oh, that's, gosh, I keep misclicking the one on what I want to do. Silence? No, it doesn't have reflect. Obviously, it still gives reflect to what you target. Let's see. But yeah, it still gives it to what you target, obviously, but not on anything else. But yeah, I guess silence overall could potentially be okay on it. Wonder what we'd even use that for. But let's go mess with it right now. We already covered the video with the new Mythic, so I can probably overwrite all these, and if I need any of them, I could just grab them from the video I already did. But yeah, let's go get this thing going. Get a reflection in there. See what we can build. So I'm almost leaning towards Giant Spider, just because of how much purple we can end up getting out of it. I'm not sure if that's as good as a way to go, because Green Stare does work out a little bit better. What else creates a lot of purple? What's a good Empower convert to purple? I know you exist. Too bad we can't search for both purple and Empower. Can he not? I don't believe so. I don't think there's a spell effect of Empower. No. Unfortunately, that is not a category that you can search for. I wish it was. But, let's see. Oh, yeah, Dark Troll builds. Almost forgot about that. It's just like some kind of soul thing. And gain a lot of purple off of that. We don't have any absurdly good purple generators, do we? We have a lot that can do it decently. But none that are, like, super meta. Especially because Giant Spider has such a liability with how high its mana cost is. It has the highest of all the converters. Well, I guess technically Keeper of Souls does. But, Keeper of Souls does skulls rather than natural gem. So that doesn't really count. That one's only a one-time thing. It's boosted based on gold stolen. However, you don't need to steal that much gold, do you? Because all you'd have to steal is 10 gold in order to get our max capacity. However, a normal team getting 10 gold is very rare unless you deliberately give them extra turns. Which is problematic. Because it only spawning 6 purple is not worth it. Its inconsistency will be too high even though it could get a 16 spawn. Where was the thing that converts to purple? I know there's one Empower that converts to purple. There it is, Graveseer. Okay, let's go with Graveseer. It gets rid of green. But let's go with Graveseer and see what we can end up doing with that. Best is Shabanu. Yes, we can build it into Shabanu build. I ended up mentioning that when Shabanu came out as well, that this hero class would be really good with it. Yeah, we can go test it with that after. I wanted to build more of a mana generation build first, though. Well, I guess Shabanu is a mana generation build, but you know. Something that's more so like a normal team rather than this pure color. Let's see. I should probably go Zugoff. I mentioned this earlier, but it will have a good synergy with a Zugoff, of course. And then we just need one other option. What are we even missing color-wise now? We're missing brown and green, and whatever we end up making this, we'll end up getting a lot of mana. I'm almost thinking a new Mythic, actually. Because in this context, Ketris would not be as good. Intensifies. Vashtagan, Umanif. I don't know. Umanif does seem tempting. Actually, we can Umanif first slot. Ooh. That's interesting. That is interesting. I like it. Okay, let's see what this does. Umanif, Reflection of Good, Graveseer, and Zugoff. What an expensive team, gosh. Zugoff plus Umanif. Most recent mythic with the most expensive mythic. But let's go change this to the obvious class of Archmagus, as that's what we're messing with, is the new hero class from last week. And then we just need to change our banner, which honestly I almost feel like just putting it to double purple. What do we really minus? Well, I guess we could minus green. What's a good +2 purple banner that has green? Is that even a thing? I mean, not quite. I would need +2 purple, +1 red for that to be worth it. I don't know. I guess we still go with it. +2 red, +3 purple total. And it would be +4 if we had this thing leveled more. Still got a ways to go in that. Obviously, at level 70, it gains an additional +1. Or you could go for Explode instead. Which, in many situations, might just be better to go for the Explode anyways. But anyways, let's go and see what this can do. Let's go into PvP, fight whatever's here. Oh gosh, that's an annoying team. Hopefully we can agile it. And let's rename this to not Umanif, but to Archmagus. Rename Archmagus or Magus. I keep calling it Magnus. Archmagus, right? Yes, Archmagus. Let's see. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Zugoff back in there. And what I want to do is manage team and rename it to Archmagus Skull. Is this? There we go. Then we'll test Vespera, then we'll test like one other thing. Yeah, let's go see how this reflection does. But hello everyone just getting in now. Hello Adele. Hello Balmy. Does your guild require guild chat? Well, to some degree, so we could communicate. But like it's not that required as long as you can do all the requirements. The only time we really need to use guild chat, like 100% of the time obviously, is for Tower of Doom. But it's not really necessarily a requirement, though it is advised to check it on occasion if nothing else. But yeah, we do have some space left if anyone's interested in joining the guild. If you can do 1 million plus gold per week. We have 1 to 3 slots left. Currently, we only have 1, but there's 2 other people that I probably need to kick very, very soon. And until we actually get that other slot recruited, I'm not actually kicking them yet. But we definitely need to soon, because Guild Wall is next week. Okay, let's go get Zugoff down. Oh, we're entangled. Oh, that's problematic. Well, let's go and give a bunch of stats effects to ourselves. I wanted to go give that to the other thing, our first slot, so it would live, but oh well. Yeah, a lot of interesting effects we can end up getting from this, given that it gives every positive stats effect in the game. So we get Reflect, we get Barrier, Submerge, Enchant, a lot of value that we can end up getting from that. And just kill it out with that, and boom. Okay, so hopefully we could actually keep our first slot alive this time. Would have been quite a bit stronger. But let's see. Let's go into it again. Also, hello, YouTube Tiempo. Hello, Ho is Rosa. Welcome. Yeah, it's been quite a while. It has been quite a while since I had to stop streaming for just a little bit there while I was away. Hello, Zeddicus. Welcome. Happy Friday. Hello, Steve. I'll use the Xbox version. Let's see. We'll grab that for now. And hello, traders. Welcome. Okay, let's keep our first slot alive. One nice thing, you might have noticed we had Entangle on us. One interesting mechanic that we can use for this mirror is, since it gives every positive stats effect in the game, one of those, of course, is Bless. And one of the effects of Bless is that it actually cleanses any negative stats effects you have. So we were able to get rid of the Entangle, and then boom, we're good to go. Oops, that was not enough to kill. That's problematic. I forgot it's 25% spell reduction. That is a thing. I guess we'll take purple for now. Then get a good mirror down. Keep this thing alive with another barrier. Get some reflect damage. Even if it does hit it, it will die to the reflect. Get that back up so we can go and kill. We'll go get that out just so it doesn't do anything annoying. Get another mirror. Actually, do we hold? We can get Enrage too. Do keep in mind, Enrage does stack with our Hunter's Mark thing. So that will end up increasing our damage by even more when we end up going for it. So let's go for it then. And it also hits through any traits. Which, if I'm not mistaken, does make it so it can't trigger its resummon thing for the giant spider. Pretty sure that's a thing. Well, let me go kill this one. Hopefully that's enough. No, it is not. Wow. Well, at least it's going to die to burn. But still, it's a little unfortunate. We can still work around it. Ooh, he just got double kill. We are up against life and death. Oh, well, let's see how good Mirror of Good is. Or Mirror of Reflection, I mean. What was it again? It's called, yeah, Reflection of Good. I like combined two different ones and both incorrect. But Reflection of Good. Okay, he'll do his thing. That would have been really sad. Oh, is he really going to survive with 1 HP and I have no way of hitting him directly? That's unfortunate. At least he gets silenced whenever we do this. Wait, how is it silenced? Don't you have immune to silence? When did we get stun on it? Hold up, when did we get stun on it? How to get silence with immune to silence? Oh, curse. But this thing doesn't have curse, does it? Also, he just died off of that. That's kind of funny. But, oh, yeah, it took a skull. Duh. I was going to say. No. Taking a skull wouldn't matter. It has immune to... Oh, never mind. Mana Shield does not have immune to silence. Duh. I thought it did. One of the elf ones does. The normal one does not. Also, I should probably just run away from this battle. This is obviously over to life and death. Because he's just going to get infinite summons. But it kind of works. Not the greatest, not the worst. Definitely not something I would go out of my way to actually use as a PvP team, I don't feel like. But if I ever wanted to mess around with this kind of setup, it's, it wouldn't be bad to. So compared to all the teams we did the other day with this new Mythic, I feel like quite a few of them were better than this. Though, as I say that, we literally just wiped the team in one cast, so who knows? Gosh, that Mythic is so inconsistent. Uminif. There's battles when it just hard loses, and others where it just single turn wins. It is very weird. Speaking about single turn losses. Oh, what do we grab here? Did he really get that? Luckily we had barrier. Okay, let's go do the good on ourselves before he kills us. He dies to reflect. And now we got a solo with Zugoff. You got this, Zugoff. What do we need for mana? We need Red Surge. What do we even Zugoff target? I guess it's hero. Oh, or dead. Or a dead. That's okay. Anyways, let's go test the really big thing that this is probably going to be viable for. And that is, Vespera. Do I still have the team saved? The purple Vespera? I might have overwritten it. I know I had one made. I think I've overwritten it since then, though. I still have the yellow Vespera saved. But, I got rid of the purple Vespera. I feel like it was built around Sloth. Though now that we have the weapon, it might not actually be. Let me go get the mirror. Get a reflection. Vespera. Do we even bother with Sloth? I believe the answer is no. What else is a good pure purple? Skeleton. We can actually go double skeleton if we really wanted to. Let's put a skeleton in there. Sloth. Oh, Thrall. Thrall is actually not that bad. And he has +1 purple. Wall Bones wouldn't be too bad either. But just having one isn't really that useful. You need multiple. And this could just give us some extra stats. I don't think it's worth it though. And of course there's Purple Doom. Also not worth it. And this thing's not worth it just because we don't have any Roshkas. Alright, we'll go with Thrall. Let's roll it like this. Oh, we'll roll it like that. Okay. Anything else we need to go do? Probably not. Let's go and change our thing. Hello, Bird Leaf. Good afternoon. Hope everything's been going well. And obviously we'll use Archmagus. And we'll go use a very heavy purple banner. Let's see, what colors don't we have? Actually, let me see. What colors are... Yeah, let's go with that. Let's do purple +1 yellow. Sounds like a plan. Okay, let's go see how this does. And rename it to Archfispera. Or pure purple. Either or. Because this actually can be viably used for Purple Guild War Day, oddly enough. I don't think you would want to, but it can be. Yeah, let's see how this goes. If it'll ever load. Loading, loading, loading. Yeah, Thrall's pretty good. Thrall is among one of the better commons in the entire game. He's one of those weird commons that over time gets increasingly better due to how magic affects him. He has a really, really good mana accumulation method, assuming magic gets higher, and magic constantly keeps getting higher in the game. And as he has higher magic, he will eventually, for 6 mana, if they don't end up nerfing him, for 6 mana with a +1 purple, he will be able to basically board clear the entire board with his mana. It is extremely strong. It's one of the best commons in the game. He's going to increasingly become like one of the best troops in the game as time goes on. It seems kind of funny, but that is what is going to happen with him. The only problem with this is we don't have a cast that does damage. So I guess we could just buff our first slot and hope it gets skull damage. And then just keep throwing skulls down. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I forgot, if we have 13 plus reds on the board, he does auto extra turn. Another nice benefit of him. Maybe I should have that a little bit higher, just so it's easier to cast. Speaking about easier to cast, oh, I did not mean to cast it on you. I should probably go and, you know what? I actually really like this build. This is kind of interesting. It's like an infinite skull spam build. Ooh, this is kind of cool. I like it. I keep wanting to click the wrong thing, though. The amount of misclicks. It is very interesting. Yeah, this might actually legitimately be Guild War viable. Almost feel like getting rid of the Thrall, though, for a second skeleton. Just so we can double cast it. Because we're going to have enough mana for it. I don't really feel like that +1 purple is really needed. Wait, let me go hook up controller real quick. Because this stream's going to be going for a while. Might as well go a bit quicker. Let's see. Here's the strap. And let me go get the other thing. Okay. Let's go get this thing connected. Where's Bluetooth devices? Bluetooth. Remove this device. Yes, I'm sure. Add the device I literally just removed. Oh, I hate when it tries picking up on the input before I even put it in. Okay, now it should be fine. And it should be connected. And it should work. And if not, we need to restart the game, and then it should work. Let's see, will it instantly work? No. Let me go restart then. And then it should. There we go, let's close this out. Boom. Bring it back up. Boom, boom. Spooky input eventually do 1000 scatter as well. But at that point, you might as well just do it with Winter Imp, because Winter Imp would take half the time. Australia's on fire, so it might be that. Are you talking about why the servers are bad? That is not the reason. I'm pretty sure the servers aren't even based in Australia. I don't think you would ever want to base servers in Australia. Not because of the fires, but because it's so far away from most other parts of the world. Anyways, let's go and do this with double skeleton now. Which is allowed for Guild War offensively. Hey, skeleton might be meta again. Go figure. There's one point. Version 2.0 was when skeleton was the most meta. At that point, they, at one patch prior to that, at some point ended up giving him an attack buff. He used to have no buff at all, and he ended up getting an attack buff. Now he has an armor buff. But at the time, it was an attack buff for himself. And he also had really good synergy with things that had 100% chance to do true damage, which basically allowed you to one-shot whatever skull. It's a pretty funny setup. Like, a little bit of a slow start. That's pretty much the issue this team always has. The only thing holding this team back from being the most broken thing ever is it generally gets really slow starts. Okay, and that's match. We already won. Should probably wait till I have both before I cast them. Like right there. That's not bad. I'm curious how this actually will perform for Purple Guild War. There we go. And we barely even got any attack buffs, too. But it definitely works. It definitely works. Let's see. Good afternoon, Birdleaf. Yeah, it's been lagging really bad, a lot of people have been saying, since the New Year's. Hopefully that gets fixed soon. I haven't really noticed it much because I was barely playing while I was away. But I've definitely noticed it since I've gotten back. It is really, really noticeable. But hopefully it'll be fixed soon, TM. Hopefully by next patch, which is also soon, TM. It could be as early as next week, next patch, like next Tuesday or something. No official date has been given, but there's a really good chance it could be Tuesday. Can you stop creating your own color? There we go. And now we can start skull spamming. Also, 0 attack buffs. Unfortunate. What do I think of the Ocean Protector from Monday Reset? Last time I recall, that weapon's useless, isn't it? I'm pretty sure that weapon is useless. Given that I can't remember what it is at all, it's probably useless. That's generally how it goes with weapons. If I can't remember, it's probably a dead content weapon. Not always, but more often than not. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the one that has Submerge and like a life gain or something? If so, it's definitely useless. Oh, why did I use that one? That's not what I meant to use. But one more skull will kill at least, if nothing else. Or no, it won't. Never mind. Now it will, though. There we go. If you're on double skeleton, you can use Doom Scythe as well. I'm kind of using Mirror as a backup barrier right now. We also get Enrage off it, which still increases our damage. My only concern with using Scythe is it'll block our purple a little bit more initially. But also, I feel like we already have enough skull damage. And that's more important just to get Vespera rolling. Right, we got a bad situation. But yeah, Hero can die quite easily. Like right now it's in one-shot range. But if we use Mirror rather than Scythe, we bring it outside of one-shot range. One other thing that also allows us to have is if we're not silenced, it gives us cleanse, which is something that it wouldn't normally have otherwise. Because the bless all fit acts as cleanse, so we can get rid of entangle, we can get rid of whatever other negative thing might be on it. Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Actually, very unfortunate. 0 attack makes it so we actually can't do anything, which normally we could use our weapon to undo that, but not in this situation. Also, at this point, we might as well just retreat. Is he using Divinish Ball of Quillen? No, he's using the other version of Quillen. The one that runs Wrath. I personally feel like Divinish Ball version is better, but that one can get very lucky like that and do such. Okay, let's see how Vespera does against Vespera. Specifically, Blue Rope Dart Vespera. The Winter Imp that isn't maxed. So that doesn't really matter much. That makes almost no difference in this battle. Okay, let me go get this thing cleansed. And now she pretty much has all of her mana. That's one other nice thing about this weapon compared to Scythe, which is probably more so the biggest reason, is it'll almost guarantee give full Vespera, or pretty close to it. We don't really need this weapon much after the fact unless we need cleanse or barrier out of nowhere, like now with a barrier. But it does help for a better start, I feel like. Please don't kill. Why you've got to be like that? I struggle with this team. This is one of the reasons why you don't see me always using this team. It is so bad at starting. Like, once it gets going, it's fine. Like, it auto wins. But getting it to start is the hardest part about this team. Hey, we're just going to lose again. It's really bad against Rope Dart, apparently. As is to be expected. As Entangle is generally not a good mix with Skull Spam. Too bad we can't put Hero in a different slot. I guess we could. Move one of the skeletons up. That might actually be better. But we can't mana generate for the Vespera then, if we do it that way. But it would make Hero safer. Though at that point we might as well just use Doom Scythe if we're going to make that big of a change to it though. Like here we obviously auto won. There's no way we're going to lose. We just keep gaining stats and just kill everything out with a cycle. There we go. Like when it goes like that, it seems like it works well. Throw in first. Oh yeah, we could mana generate very quickly with a Throw first. But then we have to go with one skeleton. But then we can get rid of the mirror for a different weapon. So that we also gain magic from having a diverse purple pool. I guess we could try it. Throw first. So we could quick mana generate. And then do this with Scythe. Okay, we could do this. Still uses Archmagus, but it drops the weapon. Alright, let's see what this does. And now we just do it on first. Actually, we'll do it on not first. We'll do it on third slot, so we can try giving it magic. Oh yeah, what's his alignment? Purple. I need to pay attention to that, because we already had alignment. I mean, not purple. I meant yellow. Why did I say purple? I was thinking yellow, but said purple. Okay, this works. Really interesting build. It's taking quite a few turns, though. But it's working nicely. It took out life and death like it was nothing. We've got a really weird situation right now, where I can't really damage him properly. That's one slight issue, is we do lack cleanse. This will just destroy a bunch and pass our turns. There we go. Still bad against Entangle and Web, apparently. But I got the job done. Oh, let's see. We'll take that over. Grab a red. Grab a... Gosh, we have nothing good. A single purple on starting board would get this rolling so quick. We still do not have a purple option. We might die before we even get an option. 2 HP. Okay, let's keep him alive. Obviously, he does some damage to himself, so we need to give him some HP so he doesn't die, which he still doesn't have. Good job. Alright, we don't have alignment on it yet. Now we do. So we'll go for that. Get a nice big hit in there. Yeah, we do need to be casting that as many times as we possibly can before we get webbed or anything. Like, that does make up a good majority of our damage to Doomscythe. Please give him HP. Okay, now it won't matter. He just takes skull and he's dead. It looks like he got away with only one cast. Well, we can't always cast it unless we get alignment. Skeleton helps out a lot with it, though. Horrifically bad starting board. Pretty much any starting board where we can immediately take purple is just bad for this team. So we can't cast it yet. I should probably do now in Doomscythe. Can we get it now? Yes. So do that. Try getting some magic on it. Of course you would get the magic. Oh, we had alignment, then I ruined it. Fail. But then we re-got it. There we go. And he's dead. But yeah, we might need to test this for Purple Guild War. What is our current Purple Guild War? I think I changed it recently. We might be changing it again. But yeah, we might need to go get Archmagus leveled a lot this weekend then. Because if we're going to use this for Guild War, I probably do want to get it to 70. Yeah, we use Yugoth, Greenseer, Wild Queen, Leprechaun. And while I do like that team, I also like this. I don't know, we'll see. I probably won't replace it yet, but I will go and make sure I save it. Oops, I need to select team. Hello, Late Gaming. But yeah, this probably has to be my favorite team with it. Which is the main thing I thought this hero class would even be used for. I mentioned it when Vespera came out too. But now we can actually utilize it, which is nice. Because some of its potential would be unlocked once we finally got this class, and works pretty decently. Wasn't the exact team I thought would end up working with it, but it definitely gets the job done. Ooh, that reflected killed. Or no, it didn't. That was Lust doing his thing. Okay, let's not die. That'd be great. Well then. That's semi-problematic, though luckily it died right there, so I guess it wasn't that bad. Double Lust is so annoying. You pretty much die just from attacking it. Yeah, the new legend that comes out tomorrow, or sorry, on Monday, pretty much instant kills submerged troops. It's pretty cool. That would only be applicable to hero classes that have submerge. You have to be careful not to constantly keep it on. This hero class is not one of them with it, so we wouldn't really need to worry about that in that regard. But you would need to worry about it in general. I'm so glad that missed. Can we please get unfrozen? That'd be great. And unentangled will also be great. We're technically unentangled. We're also technically dead. Gosh, Truffle. Why you gotta be so truffly? Here's a Umanef team. You with Ubistat? That's a weird combo. The two mythics from the kingdom. Alright, now we have everything, but I need him to be unentangled and unfrozen. I should have done Scythe there. Oh, whoa. Definitely should have. Gosh, 1 HP. Though if I would have done it, maybe she would have died due to gaining a bunch of attack and magic. Okay, can we please get cleansed? Would be great. No, you did. Good, okay. Though we still are submerged. But we can still work around it. So we'll do that. Do we have alignment? No. So we'll do this again. Do we have alignment? Yes. Rinse and repeat until we win. Oh, I had alignment. I had such a gigantic alignment. Fail. Now we do not. I didn't see any results on the board, so it was like, oh, we probably don't have alignment, but nope, it's all hiding at the top there. Yeah, that was a bit of a shaky battle, but I got through. Yeah, but for Guild War purposes, it seems decently good. You don't count as a rogue, do you? No. I was gonna say, maybe we could use that new rogue with it to counter submerges. Because I feel like Frost Mage is being the most annoying thing against this. Just because freeze, and obviously we want an infinite loop. I guess we could always set Cedric Metals too if we really, really wanted to try to hard counter it. Okay, do we have everything we need? Should be able to throw this. Do it into cast and then pretty much just win. Except we don't have it, so we'll do it again. Whoa, that was a gigantic miss. It's not what we want to see. How about now? No. Let's grab that then. The struggle of freeze. Though by the time we get full mana on Vespera again, she should be unfrozen. Ideally. Find out. Or she could be dead. Which technically is unfrozen. We'll take that for now. Yeah, we're dead. Freeze has killed us. So this team still hates Entangle, it still hates Web, and it still hates Freeze. So basically every stats effect that is actually good. That was a quick win. It's already dead. There we go. I mean, we still could have taken extra turns there too if we would have taken a different move there. Oh, there's all of PvP done. But let's go, I guess, claim those rewards. Why not? Yeah, out of every team we're probably ever going to build with that hero class, I personally feel like that's going to be the one I like the most. Probably going to make another one in a little bit, though. I should probably go start power leveling this thing. Still got a ways to go. It's currently level 40. If we are actually legitimately going to use this for Guild War, I kind of do want to go get it to 70. But it's just so time consuming, we'll see. But it would be good to do so. So we'll start on the grind. I'm not sure how far I'll get, but it's about 8 hours of grind, I believe it is, over the course of this weekend of just doing Explore. And if we get that done, then yeah, it would be ready to go. A bit tedious to get it up, but I don't know. I kind of want to have it at level 70 for Guild War now. Because if we actually are going to use that team, and there's no way we can keep it that low. Did I already claim my own redeem code? Yes, I did. We'll find that out soonish. Too bad I can't claim all without claiming the code. Oh well, we'll just claim our own code. But we'll hand it out in a little bit. But anyways, let's go power level this thing. Where are we doing it at? I guess Zhejian, why not? I'm not sure why I'm picking Zhejian for it, but there's not a reason not to, so. Because actually it works. Actually, there is one reason not to. If the legend appears on last slot and gains 20 HP, I believe it actually gains enough durability to survive. But other than that, there's really nothing bad that happens. And there's only one battle that's applicable to. Actually two, because I believe it can happen on the Mythic battle too. But it's very rare that it's probably not that useful. Or not that annoying, I mean. And now we can get some Archmagus leveling. You run a Reflection of Good, Spirit Fox, Infernus, and Possessed King. Infernus as your main damage source. I guess that could work for PvP-like situations. And given that that's probably a purple Guild War team, I guess that could work. I don't think you need Possessed King with it, though. And Spirit Fox is only situational depending on what team you're up against. But Reflection plus Infernus does sound like a good combo. Actually, that's something else that might be able to work with it too. Bring back Elamagrim Infernus with like Mirror of Good, Elamagrim Infernus, and one other troop to mana generate purple. Or just mana generation in general, like Leprechaun. Actually, that doesn't sound too bad at all, actually. Mirror of Good, Elamagrim, Leprechaun, and Infernus. I used to run a team somewhat similar for that for purple and red Guild War days. But actually had enough colors that it overlapped for both. The biggest issue it had was freeze and submerge, but mostly freeze. Basically Frost Mage. The entirety of Frost Mage was its biggest threat. And that's the same problem Vespera has. It's being hard countered though. Frost Mage gets hard countered on Monday. Because no longer can you just run Submerge with it. You can if you want to, but people can just hard counter it with a new troop that's coming out on Monday. So hopefully that makes people use Frost Mage less. And if nothing else, that'll at least make it so they don't use it with Submerge, which is pretty much the default whenever you use Frost Mage because it doesn't really have a good other slot. However, if it can be hard countered due to having Submerge, it might deter people from setting it. Though since you can't really see your replays, maybe it won't really deter people that much. But I feel like it will to some degree. Oh, what was the team again? It's very similar to a team I used to run ages ago for Purple Guild War. But it is Mirror of Good, Elamagrim, Leprechaun, and Infernus. We'll probably go mess with it in a second too. Actually, I might as well mess with it right now. It's this team. PvP. Fight. Let's go get rid of this team. And name it... rename... Arc... Purple GW... All the W's. There we go. And it's this team right here. We need Elamagrim. Too many elemental troops. There we go. Elamagrim, Infernus, Leprechaun, which is a replacement for Spirit Fox just because it's better mana generation and scores better. Spirit Fox is really very rarely used in Guild War offensively. You can still use it defensively though. But overall, I feel like it's starting to get out of the meta some. Just because as stats keep getting higher, the amount of true damage it does keeps getting more irrelevant. And then we need Good. I call Essence of Evil evil, and I'm just going to call this Good. So now we have Good and Evil. We'll just use Good there and set it to probably some minus blue banner if we have a good one for it. Haha, Good. Get it? But anyways, I guess we go +2 purple, +1 brown. As long as we have +2 purple, that's the main thing that matters. The other one's just extra, I guess, for Elamagrim. That's the only color we're missing, right? Yeah, blue. Okay, so we'll roll with that. And obviously we'll run with Archmagus. Though theoretically we could run Titan or something. But we'll go for the higher manager accumulation. And also because Archmagus. But yeah, let's go see how this does. And this is pure purple Guild War. Does use 2 mythics though. But Infernus is one most people have. Elamagrim not so much. Because Elamagrim's never been particularly meta. Like the most meta he's ever been is he gets used for purple Guild War, and that's about it. Which is exactly what we're using it for right now. Ouch. Well, that hurt. Well then. Well then. Well then. Apparently we weren't able to get our loop going. Okay, grab the red. Grab some skulls. Grab all that mess. Got all my Grim going. Like, that's what it's supposed to do. Like, if we could do that every time, it would score very well. Problem is, it doesn't. It also isn't that good at making a comeback. It's one of the reasons why I stopped using Elamagrim for Guild War. It's really good when it works well, but it's really bad when it doesn't. And generally in Guild Wars, you want to use things that have a comeback mechanic. That even if you're losing, you can still win. Like Vespera is really good at winning when you're losing. It's not a guarantee win, but it's good at making comebacks. Whereas Elamagrim, once it's behind, it stays behind. Especially if you lose Infernus and don't have burns anymore. And even as you get kills, he even becomes weaker. Because you don't have as many burns to get boost ratio off of. Ooh, that was a gigantic miss. And it looks like it's probably going to lose. So at least it has almost no attack. The only problem is it has life and death, which means it's going to win any second. Excuse me, any second now. Yeah, it looks like it's still not viable enough. Is that enough damage to kill? Yes, it is. There we go. Well, it won! Hey, we're getting to level off it too. Yeah, that's probably not worth it. I'd use Vespera before I'd bother using that. Not too bad. Elamagrim's still not viable. Oh, it also would have helped if we set proper metals. I still have them set up for Explore. That probably didn't make too big a difference though. Oh, I gained a level. Let's keep gaining levels. Also, once we get to level 45, I think we'll hand out a code. Seems like a nice number to give it off for. Can new Mythic be used in a level 12 Explore team? If you had a way to synergize with it, like Rope Dart or Megavore. Because he's not going to be able to get one-shots otherwise. You'd have to synergize it with either Rope Dart or Megavore. Which is why 2 of the 3 teams I showed for the video ended up using those mechanics. Technically all 3, because the one I said Interceptor for can also use Rope Dart. But if you're upscaling with it, it is highly advised to run one or the other. Rope Dart or Megavore with it. And the reason for that is if you armor tear an enemy, he should be able to one-shot it with upscale. So if you throw a rope dart on it, whatever you just rope darted can probably be one-shotted. The only problem is it gets entangled, which does reduce your boost ratio some. But the better option if you happen to own it is Megavore. Megavore into Umanif is actually a pretty good combo. It does take a little bit of a mana to go get. And if you're doing that for Explorer, it might be a little slow because it's probably going to take like a minute per win. But it would win. Did I see the next new Mythic? Yes. I forget what it is off the top of my head. But I have seen it. Let me go double check what it is because I actually do forget. I have read it before. I just forget what it is right now. Off the top of my head. Let me go double check. Let's see. What is next Mythic? Let's see. Next Mythic is for Darkstone. Oh yeah, I was mentioning this earlier. Darkstone's getting another Mythic, so no longer will you need to get Possessed King in order to get it to 10 plus stars. But it deals magic plus 4 true damage to an enemy, and then the enemy below them, boosted by purple gems at a 10 times boost ratio. If the enemy dies, create 12 purple gems. Otherwise, summon 2 statues or Sisters of Shadow. Sisters of Shadow being a very bad summon. It kind of reminds me of a Fist of Zorn in that way, whatever that one guy is called that used this Mythic. But its ability is actually a bit better, though, because it has 10 times boost ratio per purple on board. So let's say there's 10 purples. That should be 100 true damage based on how it is worded. That is quite a bit of decent amount of extra true damage. And if you have a really densely populated purple board, you can get probably about 15 purples. And 15 purple would be 150 damage, true damage. And that's not even counting its base damage. The biggest issue is it has no board control, and its side effect is not good. Well, I guess when it ends up getting a kill, it does get board control some. It ends up creating 12 purple. So yeah, I guess it's okay if you can consistently keep getting kills on it. So you'd have to Dark Troll and stuff to go feed it mana. But then again, Dark Troll does have a lot of mana conflict with it. It uses blue, red, brown. And Dark Troll's are red, brown. Or is it red, purple? No, it's red, brown. It does have Stealthy, though. So that's a pretty nice mechanic to have. It also has Dark Storm when an enemy dies. So that's going to be pretty good synergy with the fact that it gets good boost ratio off of purples. And its unique trait is Inflict Bleed to all enemies when matching purple gems. Oh! I did not realize that part of it. It is the first troop in the game to have bleed, a good bleed too, with true damage, which is something that they should have been doing with pretty much every with every bleed option in the game. Not sure why it took them a Mythic to finally do it. But, okay, that makes it a bit more interesting. I didn't realize that synergy earlier. That's actually not that bad. It has Stealthy, Dark Storm, and Bleed on purple, while having true damage and a capability of creating more purple while having a boost ratio off of purple. That is such a purple-heavy troop. One really weird thing about it, though, is it doesn't use purple itself. It is a blue, red, brown. It itself does not use purple, which is probably the biggest liability with this troop. If it used purple, it would probably actually be really viable. But it does not, and for that reason, it probably won't be. I'm trying to think of like the purple synergy troop that you would use with this to consistently keep it up. I guess Mirror of Good, obviously, is one thing you kind of could do. But then you can't use it in a Guild War context. Oh no, it just seems really weird in that regard. That it doesn't use purple as a color. That's a really big hindrance, because everything about it is extremely purple based, yet it doesn't use purple mana. Which is a weird, weird combo to have. It does seem useful, though. But ever so slightly above average. I don't feel like that's going to be meta-breaking for anything. It's a nice bleed. It's a nice true damage. And she can end up getting kind of like a Weaver effect, where it actually gets okay board control, or pretty decent board control, if it gets a kill. Which is the same kind of situation Weaver has. It has none if it doesn't get a kill, but it does if it does get a kill. But we've known from Weaver that that's really annoying if you fall behind. It is not a good comeback mechanic. So where would you really use her then? Because that's one of the reasons why Weaver doesn't necessarily get used as much. Is, well, actually, never mind. Weaver does have comeback mechanic because of its final trait. So I guess it more so has it than this Mythic. But how will this mythic really come back? And why would you need it for Guild Wars then? Because it doesn't have a comeback mechanic. It's not like it's a life steal, so it doesn't get to keep the life that it takes out from the enemies. It doesn't use its own color. I guess you could synergize it with some kind of true damage rush team. It's probably the main thing she's ever even going to be used for, is PvP and Guild War true damage rush. It's like the only thing I could think of off the top of my head that she'd actually be viable for. You definitely wouldn't use her in Delves. Definitely wouldn't use her in Tower of Doom. You might use her on any kind of events that you could do early raids or invasions with, but you wouldn't use her too far. It'll be fun to mess around with, if nothing else. I personally don't feel like I'll be using her much, though. One other pretty nice benefit of her is she is a Darkstone Mythic. So if you don't currently own Possessed King, you can kind of decide if you want her or Possessed King. But honestly, I would say Possessed King is the better option. Which feels weird to say that because I normally am not too big of a fan of Possessed King. But honestly, between that Mythic, unless they're going to rework her between now and then. But honestly, between the option of Possessed King and her, I would lean towards Possessed King. Mostly because there's more instances where you would actually use Possessed King. Where she's pretty much exclusively only used in true damage teams in very specific situations. Whereas Possessed King could theoretically be used in any team in the entire game. Obviously, its viability can vary. But there's no team that it doesn't work in. Oh, you just got back into the game after 9 months away. Nice. What are must-have mythics that came out last year? The most must-have mythic came out technically in 2018, but it was supposed to come out in 2019. I've been meaning to make a video on that too. All the stuff from 2019 that is still viable in 2020 that ended up coming out last year. But yeah, theoretically, Iron Gut came out last year. It came out the final month of 2018, but it was supposed to come out in 2019. So I technically consider it as coming out in 2019. But Iron Gut, so that came out while you were still playing, so you probably already have that. And if you don't, it's definitely Iron Gut. Other than that, nothing really. If I'm not mistaken, no game-breaking mythics really came in that time. Vespera is nice, but it's not required. Like, I wouldn't say any mythic I don't think last year was required. Let me see. Let me go find a thing that has a full list of them real quick. Is there a full list of every mythic that came out last year? I know that exists somewhere. I believe it's on GOWDB.com. I believe is where that is kept up on. Let's see, gemsawarddatabase.com, the initials of it. Let's see. What am I looking for? I'm looking for extras. I'm looking for timeline. And can I control find mythic? The answer is yes. So, Uminif, no. Shabanu Vespera, potentially yes. She's used in a really weird archetype of teams in which you can use 3 pure color troops with it. Honestly, she might be the best mythic that came out this year now that I'm looking at it, if you don't count Iron Gut as happening this year. If you count Iron Gut as happening this year, which I personally do, it's Iron Gut. But, yeah, Shabanu Vespera wasn't bad. It's just very situational when you would use it. King Bloodwood, not really worth getting. Grey King, some people really like Grey King. It's very situational. You only use it against things that use a lot of the same color. So like 3 or 4 of the exact same color, so you can silence their entire team. That's the main thing that it ends up getting used for. It's okay. I'm not sure if I would really say it's a must-have. I can't even recall the last time I've even used it. It's been months since I bothered using it. I don't even use it for Guild War Defend just because AI doesn't use it well. Wait, why does it say new mythic, but it doesn't actually show the mythic here? New mythic troop, bounty. It doesn't say what the September mythic was. I assume it was bad. That's weird. They forgot to put the text there. So I'm not sure what came out in September. Wait, August doesn't have it either. Why does all these older ones not have the mythic that came out? What? That is so weird. Why do only the more newer ones have it? Or am I looking at it wrong? That one definitely doesn't. This one says Ridgeback. Was Ridgeback a bounty? Wasn't Ridgeback a bounty troop? Yeah. That's not a mythic. That's weird. Why doesn't this website show it properly? But no, last I recall, Iron Gut, obviously, and maybe Vespera were the only, like, really must-haves, I would say. And even Vespera is not really necessarily a must-have. It's just a nice Guild War option if you're lacking other Guild War options. But no, not too many good mythics this year. And it's really weird. For whatever reason, for some of these days on this website, it shows the bounty troop. Yeah, on other days it doesn't. I do not understand that. That is very weird. Or not the bounty troop. I mean the mythic. Oh, Phoenicia came out this year? Interesting. Oh yeah, she was supposed to come out last year, but she ended up getting shifted. So she theoretically came out this year. Phoenicia is not actually viable though. However, she is used for the highest trophy farming team in the game, but very few people would ever care about that. But yeah, long story short, Iron Gut and maybe Vespera and maybe Grey King. Last I recall, those were the most relevant mythics that came out this year. With Iron Gut being the most relevant, Vespera probably being the second most relevant, and Grey King being the third most relevant. However, I personally don't use Grey King, but it is a good utility to have. I do not believe Terran's World has that data. I believe Gems Orb database is the only place that does. I can go double check. I don't believe Terran's World keeps it up with that data. Last I recall. Let me double check. Let's see. No. Only Gems of War database holds the data of when things get released. It does not look like it is maintained on Terran's World at all. Or if it is, I do not see its location. But yeah, it's only kept up on Gems of War database. Iron Gut came out December 2018. However, he was supposed to come out January 2019, but there was an issue with copyright on Phoenicia with its artwork that pushed Phoenicia back and Iron Gut forward. So I technically count Iron Gut as coming out in 2019, even though he didn't, because he was supposed to, but then he came out a month early. Vashtagon is not particularly viable. I think it's still the best cursed mythic, but the biggest issue it has is it doesn't have some of the core mechanics that Black Beast does. Like, you can't target something that has barrier with it because it doesn't have Dispel. For whatever reason, they still didn't give it to it. Oh yeah, Aquaticus was pretty good. I almost forgot about Aquaticus. I don't feel like I ever use it though. But Aquaticus has 4x Submerge on extra turn, while also functioning very similar to that of an Infernus, except without Storm. But it has higher damage than Infernus. I don't know, I feel like I never use it, but it is decent. I think the main reason being is it's only really used in a PvP Guild War kind of context. And it's very situational when you bring it out. Because you would need Submerge to actually be viable. Oh yeah, Tina came out this year. I almost forgot Tina was this year. It feels like she's been out for so much longer. But yeah, Tina is relevant in that she is the strongest 50% spell reduction troop in the entire game at this current moment in time. That can of course change as the time goes by. But as it currently stands, there's not a single 50% mana or a 50% spell reduction troop that is better than Tina. But yeah, Tina got a buff too this year, or at some point this year, where its ability works properly. But when it first released, it didn't. And ever since it got that buff, it became pretty viable. I personally haven't been running it much lately, but it is a decent option out there for true damage. Tanya got buffed the most recent patch. He's still useless though, even after that. He got buffed in 4.7 about a month ago. I use him for one of my Guild War defends, but that's it. Mostly just to test how he would do. Though it does seem viable for it. I use him with Wild Queen. Tanya, buffed Tanya with Wild Queen is actually not that bad of a combo for Guild War defend. It's not the best thing in the world, but you only have so many options that you can use when you're doing Guild Wars and have to use 24 unique troops. And it's a unique combo that wouldn't be used for any other team. And good combos like that is nice for Guild War defense. It's not that important to have those kind of things, though. There's plenty of defense that you can set other than that. Definitely wouldn't get it just for that purpose. Tiny is relatively useless. But they did boost up his damage some, which puts him more in line with like Ketris. And unbuffed Ketris is like more in line now with him. Yeah, Tidecrawler came out last year. I don't feel like I used it too much though. Honestly, if I'm going for a hero class like that, I feel like I use Frost Mage rather than Tidecrawler. Unless you're specifically using a lot of Merfolk on your team, it's normally better to go to Frost Mage. Actually, now that I think of it, what is the best hero class that came out last year? Because we did get 12 hero classes. I'm trying to think of which ones specifically were last year and not the prior year. I know Thief came out prior year. I think Sentinel did too. Did Plague Lord come out this year or 2019? I think it might have. Plague Lord was pretty good. It's like the closest thing to Titan that isn't Titan. And has disease and spell reduction on it, which is a pretty good combo. It's like Titan, but better against spells rather than skulls. Do skulls explode by gems deal double damage to enemies with Hunter's Mark? Yes. It is an interesting mechanic that is not used too often because it's very situational. However, if you Hunter's Mark the enemy team and destroy skulls, the skulls that you destroy do get twice the amount of damage. It is an interesting mechanic that does work pretty well with Mass Exploders or Doom Skulls and stuff like that. But yes, if you Hunter's Mark the enemy team and you explode, let's say, 13 skull worth of damage, it'll do 26 damage. It will double the amount of damage from Hunter's Mark. Very rarely is that applicable to things, but it is a mechanic that can be used. The time when you'll probably get the best value out of it is if you're using a hero class that can Hunter's Mark on 4x, 5x matches, combined with some kind of exploder. That in combination tends to work decently. However, in most other situations, you wouldn't go out of your way to go and Hunter's Mark them. Just because you wouldn't get much value out of that. But yes, it does boost ratio it. Unfortunately, spell increase does not increase the effects of stats effects though, like burn and stuff. That it does not do. But Hunter's Mark does increase the damage of exploded skulls. Or destroyed skulls, either or. If you like do a full board clear destroy off of like a Throw or something, or Egg Thief. It's why another reason why Thief is one of the better classes to use with the Egg Thief team, that one Skeleton Key team. It's because you actually get double the damage off of all the Hunter's Mark you keep doing from the destroyed things that Thief does. Shadow of Zorn's the worst mythic in the game. Or then again, I don't know. Actually, is it worse than Gargantor? I would probably say it is worse than Gargantor. For the longest time, Gargantor was the worst. Then they added Fist of Zorn, and it's like, oh wait, this is the new worst now. Oh yeah, Obsidius came out last year. I don't feel like I use it that often though. But it's the best stunner in the game. It has 4x stun on extra turn. It's like Infernus but stun, but less damage and board control that isn't as good. I feel like it's rather clunky to use, mostly because its damage isn't consistent. If it had a 100% chance to do its second hit, I'd probably say it'd be worth it. But it doesn't, so it's not. I'm not sure why they didn't give it a 100% chance and made it 50% chance. It makes it extremely RNG based, which generally means it's not worth using. Anything luck based tends to not be worth using, especially in PvP and Guild Wars, especially Guild Wars. You created a fun team for BBP. Check it out. Luna, Dawnbringer, Luna, and Moonrabbit. Interesting. I have ran that before because we've need to run almost the exact same thing for Pure Faction before. It's not bad. Luna, at the state of the meta when it came out, actually wasn't too bad. In the current state of the game, I do feel like it's getting increasingly worse just because of how much value you can get from AoEs that can basically auto-turn, like Queen of Tanya, Yagwe, a couple mythics that do it like World Breaker and stuff. But she isn't horrifically bad. The biggest issue is more so the inconsistency, because you either do random positive stats effects to yourself or negative random stats effects to the enemy. And the range of stats effects that she can do is wider than pretty much any other troop in the game. And she's just really inconsistent, because if you're expecting to like disease the enemy or barrier yourself, it's going to be very rare that she'll do exactly what you want. Also hard countered by Submerge, which is problematic if you're up against Frost Mage or something. But it does get a lot of explosions. Every yellow she takes explodes, which is a pretty fun mechanic. Works pretty good with Wild Folk teams. I don't feel like she gets used in much else other than Wild Folk teams, though. You really need your help. Guild War is coming, and you always have difficulty to beat this team. What is that team? Let me go bring it up real quick. I do not have my thing, so I can't go copy-paste it. Let's see. Where's my stream? Also, feel free to leave a like on this stream. Might as well do it to my own stream right now. Let's see. Why is there not a quick, easy way to get to my channel? I hate that the back ends look so weird on YouTube. I prefer the normal standard version of it. Okay, let's go to my channel, go to my own stream, mute it so it doesn't play an ad, leave a like because why not, and where's that team? There it is, copy. Why is it not copying? There it is, copy. XX, just so it doesn't lag us. And, oh yeah, duh, I need to finish my battle before I can go put that in, don't I? That might help. And paste. No, I did not want to buy that. Just give me my gems. Okay, troops. What am I looking for? I'm looking for just to put this in somewhere. I don't have a team slot I could really put it in, do I? Soul farming, Sea of Sorrows. We don't need that. What's truffle team though? Let's put over soul farming. I don't need to mention that again. Not what I want. Manage team, paste team. So what's this causing problems with? Guild War. People use this for Guild War? All you have to do is freeze it. But yeah, all you'd have to do is freeze this team. The only thing that can't be frozen is Toad Squeezer. However, he doesn't really do much. Yeah, everything on his team except Toad Squeezer gets hard countered by freeze. Let's see. I'm just putting his things back to normal. There we go. He had on elemental. I like having him on his reductions unless we're specifically running an elemental thing. Obviously, this one's using it to give Truffle extra magic. But, yeah, all you'd have to do is freeze. Just use Frostmage Hero Class with whatever team you're using. Like, it's really the only change you have to make. Like, use whatever normal team you would for that Guild War day. But instead of doing whatever hero class you might use Frostmage. And the only exception to that is if you're using first slot hero class, in which case you might want to revamp your team. But just changing your hero class to Frostmage is probably the easiest way of dealing with that. And incorporating hero into your team if you're not already using hero on that day. You have to fight against it first to see how annoying it is. Sure, what Guild War day do you normally see it on? I'll just run my Guild War day for that day on it. I'm not even sure what day a person would use that on. It can function on any day, so. I've never seen anyone use that team before, though. I use a similar variant for one of my defense, and have seen similar variants. I've never seen that exact variant, though. Is it the same where you face off against other guilds once every 3 weeks? Yes, it hasn't really changed much in the last couple years. They did change it once, like how the scoring works a little bit. But the general premise is still just do the best you possibly can within Guild Wars. But it's once every 4 weeks now. They ended up adding Tower of Doom last November. And with the addition of Tower of Doom, it's made it so Guild Wars is now just once a month. As well as all the other guild-related events. It just occurs once a month. Yeah, Guild Wars hasn't really changed much recently. Oh, they did finally add 27 out of 30. I'm not sure if you heard about that in the past. But it was something that was suggested a lot in the past. That they make it so only the top 27 in a guild count. So if you have people missing or need a recruit or need to kick someone, it doesn't really affect your score. And they finally did that. Now Guild Wars only counts the top 27. They did that the most recent patch, actually, just a month ago. Pretty recently. That was a nice change. It's been asked for a while, and they finally did it. Yeah, I guess we'll go face that team. You didn't say what color, though. So I guess we'll just go use Vespera, because why not? Okay, I need to go set as my defend, though. Just go to PvP, go to defend, go to, what team did I set it for? Go to this thing. Test defend team, and let's go use Vespera, purple Vespera. Okay, let's see how this goes. Oh, I'm not using freeze. Whoops, I should have switched to Frost Mage. The main way I said to counter it, I'm not even doing. Let's see. Okay, we'll do that. Fortunately missed. Yeah, we didn't have freeze, so we don't get the hard counter. It's infinite loop. It's not infinite, but it gets a lot of loop. And this is why you need freeze. But once you get a freeze on it, it won't really do much. Anyways, let's go do this, but with freeze. There's quite a simple fix to doing this. And all we'd have to do is go to this again. And then literally just change our hero class to Frost Mage. And double check that everything's set correctly. Should be already. Let's see. $20 spell reduction, 50 mana start, submerge, explode, elementals gain some bonus. Okay, all looks good. Do you count as an elemental? Yeah, you do. Nice. Okay, so now we just run Frost Mage with it, and now we should just win. And it's pretty much as simple as that. Just use Frost Mage. Okay, and obviously it loses its turn. And now you use infinite loop it back without needing to worry about it retaliating since it's frozen. Ah, there we go. But yeah, use Frost Mage. You can see the difference already between using Frost Mage and not using Frost Mage. Like the first time we instant die, and then the next time we pretty much win without any struggle at all. And I wasn't even using the correct things either. Also, you can also set Cedric's if you really want to. Well, never mind. You don't need to worry about stats effects. I guess he has disease, but that's not really something you need to worry about. But yeah, just set Frost Mage. It's like the easiest way to deal with any of them. Like literally just set Frost Mage and you should win. More likely than not, or at least it would greatly increase your chance of winning against it. Switch Archmagus. Also, if it's used on a brown or yellow, you can use Gob Truffle. You can literally just use 4 Gob Truffles, or 3 Gob Truffles with a Frost Mage, and try killing it out that way. Though I'm pretty sure they would be aware enough to not use it on brown or yellow. Okay, anyways, back to the grind here. Let's go get more hero class XP for this thing. Because if we are going to be using that for Purple Guild War, I ideally want to get that to level 70 before Purple Guild War. And for all we know, Purple Guild War could be on Tuesday. We won't know what days it happens until Monday. Actually, do we know that ahead of time? I know it used to run on some kind of cycle. I'm not sure if they changed that or not, though. Yeah, Red Day can be really annoying. Red Day has always been one of the harder Guild War days. Let's see, we'll grab that. The other thing. Let's see. Your team for easy play with Thief is Mang, Seer, Giant Spider, Kraken. Interesting. Green Seer, Giant Spider combo. That's one of the older combos that, I feel like don't get used much these days. Mostly because they tend to be a little bit slow. But they're still pretty potent because they can, not necessarily infinite loop, but they can get quite a bit of value out of a loop. And they're generally cheaper options. Things like Alchemist, Moneylender, Alchemist Hellcat, Green Seer, Giant Spider. Combos like those can get a decent amount of value. I personally don't use them anymore in most situations, except for maybe Alchemist Moneylender. Might be one of the only few I still use. But they're still viable. They're just not as meta as they used to be. Mostly because they are a bit slow, because you have to manually do them. Explodes have gotten so much better. Leprechaun in general basically killed out that team forever. For the most part, using like Green Seer, Giant Spider combos and similar. And the main reason for that is explodes are so much quicker than board control. It is so much quicker to just click a button like that to get all of your mana than it is to constantly keep converting back and forth. Converting back and forth is still good for looping and extra turn spamming for things that do have extra turn things, like Kraken, like Taloka, like Megavore. But it's normally not worth doing for the time's sake. Though it is a fun team to use nonetheless for messing around with stuff. It's more so fun than viable these days. Well, actually, technically, it is still viable. It's just slow. And generally, slow is considered not viable. The only context where that wouldn't be the case is Guild War. But none of the combos work for Guild War because they're all different colors. Oh, what else we need here? Grab the Rowan there. Get our splitty splits. Well, what level are we at? I set a handout code at 45. How far are we from 45? Still need 3 more levels, probably 2.5. Shouldn't take too long though. How much EXP is that? That's half an hour or so. A little over half an hour. Maybe we'll give it out at 44 then. One single token of guard, giving us the worst token. Why you gotta be like that? But if anyone still has any other questions or anything you want me to go over, let me know. I'll make sure to do so, of course. But yeah, there's a lot of troops now that do extra damage on days now that we got all those 6 new Guardians. Because now on every single day you have to worry about troops doing twice as much damage. The first instance of that happened last Guild War. However, a lot of people probably didn't upgrade them yet. However, at this point, now that they've been out for a little over a month, a lot of people have probably upgraded them. That also reminds me, they never did any kind of compensation for the glitch that happened. I'm pretty sure everyone forgot about it now. But the glitch that ended up giving a bunch of people like 20,000 free gems that they never rolled back. Basically, everyone who used gold keys to max out the guardians rather than using seals or orbs. Let's see. Though very few people did end up doing it. Still kind of surprising that they didn't roll it back, though. These are at least a few hundred. Yeah, we'll take that for now. Actually, I probably should just take him blue. I guess that still gives us mana. Well, other time zones, they would be awake. There's quite a few time zones that would be awake at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, it's definitely not as many people as if it would have happened at, like, noon or something. Do you remember which delve give the best rewards per run? City of Thieves. City of Thieves is still best overall delve. Not just its layout, but the colors that it has also allows for some pretty quick teams. Like, you can run the quicker variants of Rowan. You can run Truffles. There's a lot of quick stuff you can run there. I believe you can even do Key Team? I forget what colors. I believe you can. I forget. But I know for sure you can run the better version of Rowan and the better version of Truffle. Silver Necropolis used to be pretty good. Currently, I would say it's probably 3rd or 4th, I believe it is. I actually forget where it tiers. I believe it's 4th. It's 3rd or 4th. I can't recall off the top of my head which one it actually is. I think it's 3rd. But I know City of Thieves is 1st. 2nd is Mirrored Halls. And 3rd, I believe, is Silver Necropolis. And then 4th is Warrens, if I'm not mistaken. Warrens is still the only faction that gives arcanes on final battle. Though at some point that becomes useless, obviously, once you have infinite arcane lights. Oh yeah, I just answered your question without even seeing the question. But yeah, it's pretty much the top 5. Yeah, I'm not really sure what the 5th one would be. But it's City of Thieves is best. 2nd best is Hall of Guardians. Or sorry, Mirrored Halls. Not Hall of Guardians. Mirrored Halls is 2nd. 3rd is Silver Necropolis. And 4th is Warrens. And you don't really need to worry about any other delve. Because most other delves are pretty useless in comparison to those 4. Yeah, Necropolis, I believe, is how you're supposed to say it. I say Necropolis. Gems of our database says a lot of mythics came out in March somehow. Does it? Only one mythic came out. I forget which one, but only one did. Necropolis. I don't say Necropolis. I say Necropolis. Necropolis and Necropolis are completely different. Yeah, the police for all the Necros. Oh, but he's gained a level. Nice. Yeah, we'll hand out code, I guess, at 44 then. I guess 45 is going to take a whole another 15 minutes on top of that. Yeah, we still need a lot of EXP. I still need over 1,000 EXP. And we're getting a rate of about 180 per hour approximately. We could potentially get a little over 200 per hour. Even closer to 240. But that's assuming we stay fully diligent the entire time and as efficient as possible. And realistically, we'd slow down slightly for any number of reasons. Which is why I normally assume it's 3 per hour, even though it can reach 4 per hour. I mean, sorry, 3 per minute, even though it can reach 4 per minute, I mean. Which comes out to 180. At minimum, pretty much. As long as we don't slow down drastically at any point. It can get up to about 240 or so. But only if we are extremely ultra efficient. And semi-lucky. But you don't really need luck to get that quick. Like, that battle is on pace to do 4 per minute. Gems of War, troop table, sort, release date. Wait, you can sort by release date on that? And search only Mythic? I know you can search only Mythic. I didn't realize you could, Interesting. Hold up. Let me go see what this link is. How do you even do that? That's a really nice function on Gems of War database then. Let me see. It says 0 troops found. Did I do something wrong? Oh, there it goes. Wait. It did it and then didn't do it. What? Maybe I have to manually set it? Yeah, it doesn't work for me. It shows 0 troops when I do that. Weird. Okay, let me go to the new normal troop table. How do you even sort it like that? Let me see. There's like a billion options here. Let me do it based on... Let me get more columns. Let's see. Get rid of auto. We'll keep on rarity. Get rid of kingdom. Get rid of troop roll. Get rid of cost. Get rid of colors. Get rid of spell bonus. Where's release date? Cost, colors, spell effects, spell bonus, traits, release date. There it is. Okay. So let's sort by... Let's type in the word Mythic. And sort by release dates. Starting with most recent. Okay, so yeah, the Mythics that came out last year were Shabanu Vespera, King Bloodwood. Let's say if they're viable. Shabanu Vespera, yes. King Bloodwood, no. Aquaticus. Why do I forget what Aquaticus is already? What's Aquaticus? Oh yeah, duh, Aquaticus. Yeah, Aquaticus was decent. Why did I think that was something completely different? Oh no, it better not redo my search. I should have opened a new tab. That's so weird. This page breaks when you try going back to it like that. The Grey King was okay. It's a great utility troop. Champion of Guard was... Wait, Champion of Guard didn't come out. Oh, yes, it did. Never mind. I was thinking of the other one. Champion Guard's useless. Shadow of Zorn's the worst mythic in the game. Obsidius is decent as a stun utility. Queen of Sin is useless. Vashtagan is very situational, and honestly, I wouldn't bother using it. It's useless. Why on earth is Amnesia on this? Amnesia definitely did not come out this year. Nor did Death. Okay, this thing is not correct. What on earth is this sorting? But yeah, some of these are drastically wrong on release date. But yeah, they need to fix that. Also, apparently a bunch of them just come out in March. Yeah, almost all those dates are wrong. Like a good number of those dates are incorrect. Oh, that's unfortunate. That would have been a very useful tool too. War is correct though. Haha. I find that funny because Def isn't. Like Def's all the way like recently for whatever reason. Even though it was like the 3rd mythic ever added to the game. It was the 3rd mythic added to the game. But anyways. Yeah, that's very strange. I'm not sure what's up with that page. But anyways. Let's get back to doing battles. Yeah, it could be that the year's wrong on several of them. That doesn't explain why there's like 8 of them for March. Because even if the year was wrong, there would only been like 3 or 4 March mythics. I think 3, because of when mythics came out. Because mythics end up coming out like May, I believe, of the year they came out. So I believe we've only ever had 3 March mythics. So the reason why it's showing 8, I have no clue. Because even if the year was set incorrectly for some of them, there's no way there should be 8 mythics for March of 1 year. Hello, Alexander. Which deck are you referring to? Current one we're using is Dancing Daggers, which is a weapon obtained from the oh gosh, what hero class was this from? The Drifting Sands hero class. Combined with Rowan, Leprechaun, and Mirage Queen. Rowan you get for free from completing a Farce of Thorns. Leprechaun is just a random drop that you would want to get fully traded for Empower. And Mirage Queen you end up getting from Sunken Fleet from throwing shards at the portal there. And relatively cheap team to build. And it's actually the quickest thing to kill out Explore with, oddly enough. Or tied at the quickest. There's other teams that can also do it. That's like using this one. Can you show a good team for this week's raid boss? Oh yeah, I never did cover the video for it. Will be very soon, TM, as that's still one of the relevant things this week. But I still want to cover it mostly to cover Soulforge and stuff. But yeah, I can go show my team real quick right after this battle. I actually forget what it is off the top of my head. I already finished out raids. Actually, my guild ended up getting it done on Wednesday because someone from my guild went for leaderboard. Also, speaking of that, if anyone's still looking for a guild, let me know. We do still have some spaces left. So if you're interested in joining, let me know. If you could do 1,000,000+ gold per week, easily, as well as participating in late game guild war and invasions, raids, all that good stuff, all normal guild events. But anyways, what was I looking for? I was looking for raid team. That's not where that is located. The raid team I currently use for this week is the team of loading screen. Loading, loading, loading. Loading, loading, loading. Loading, loading. Loading? Alright, that might be my side this time. Anyways, fights. Mang, Greenseer, the Feymark, which is the new invasion troop that was, or raid troop that was added this week, and Alderfather. Mang you pretty much automatically have. It's 23 brown-red mastery. Green Seer, relatively easy to obtain, is epic, but use convert into green with that. Feymark you end up getting really easily just by throwing some gems at the event. And Alderfather you get from throwing shards at Primal Rift faction. And nothing is mythic on this team. And the only legend's not even a legend. It's like a pseudo legend because you can get off a faction. Off of Primal Rift, so really easy to obtain. But yeah, it's basically epic and below. Because I essentially count faction mythics, or sorry, faction legends as epic rarity. Just because the difficulty of getting them is about the same as getting an epic troop that isn't from a faction. Because their rarity is technically lower than a normal legend. They're normally as good as a normal legend, but their capability of obtaining them is way easier than a normal legend. Since you could basically event key them whenever you want off of shards. And they require a lot smaller amount compared to if you were to event key for one. But I really wish they had a better way to farm for Hero Class XP. But it is pretty slow to max out hero classes. With the most efficient methods in the game, it takes about 28 hours. And that's a lot of time. Now, spreading it across about 1 hour per day does make it a lot easier to do. But still quite time consuming nonetheless. But if you break it down to 1 hour a day, you'll be able to maintain with the rate of which new hero classes come into the game. Though, of course, if you want to get ahead of it, you have to do more than an hour per day. I did not want to change that kingdom. I hate that misclick. So easy to misclick that on controller. Luckily, they got rid of the 50 gold cost. Not like that would really matter much, but you used to have a gold cost to change it, which was completely pointless. Even changing it's pretty much nearly pointless. Big yawn. Still didn't 100% catch up on sleep yet. My whole week has been so thrown off, but from the from all the plane trips, definitely haven't recovered from it yet. I don't think I ever want to ride that many planes in a single day again. It was an interesting experience, though. Good afternoon, Viper Twin. Welcome. Also, as I mentioned earlier, we will handle the code once we get this level for 44, which we should be minutes away from, I think. Forgot how much EXP we have. Really wish they would show you on end screen in some way. That's two things that end screen needs. Some way to see how much class EXP you currently have towards your class, and showing how much time the battle took. Both of which currently do not show on the final screen. You can see how much time the battle took here. And you can see, and there are places in the game where you can see how much EXP you have. But they don't even have like a bar like this. Like there's room, like literally right there. Let's put a hero class EXP bar or something. And there's even time to just put the time above that too, or somewhere's there. We still don't know what's coming in next patch, do we? I don't think we know until Monday. There's a few more days then. 3 days and we'll know it all. And then we probably get the patch like literally a day after or something. Like mid-late January, we're definitely getting patch. Soon TM. Oh, I forgot. We have to manually click this one. It's like the only thing in this whole loop where you have to manually click the difficulty. For whatever reason, they don't let you A-click it. I should probably mention that as a bug for it. Pretty sure that's not actually a bug, but I don't know. They generally don't check controller side stuff that often. Hello, Bushka! Thank you! Yep, we're finally back. Got back a couple days ago. Monday. Ended up rolling back in. But we didn't start streaming again until Tuesday. And our posting schedule should be back to normal by next week on Monday. I still need to get the weekly event video up, obviously, for this week. At least to mention Soulforge stuff before Soulforge is no longer a thing. And, of course, we still need to go over a new hero class, which we went over this stream. But I still want to get a little bit more leveled before we get a video on it. Ideally, I want to get to 70. I definitely need to mention it before Purple Guild War Day. Because the most relevant thing this hero class is for is obviously Purple Guild War Day. Like, if you're using this hero class, you're almost guaranteed using it for Purple Guild War Day. Unless you're just messing around with PvP in it. Soul Gnome, nice. Please give me 5,000 souls or Vault Key. Not even sure which one I want more these days. His worst drop of 1,000 souls. Well, better than nothing, I guess. Every little bit helps. 1,000 souls is basically 1/10 of the smallest elite level. Putting it that way makes it seem so small. 1,000 souls is 1/60th the amount of souls you need to fully medal a troop. Putting it that way makes it seem like 0 souls. Another way to put it is his 5,000 soul drop is, what is that, 1/20th? No, math wrong. 1/12th. His 5,000 soul drop is 1/12th the amount of souls you need to fully max out a troop with elite levels. It also takes a little over an hour to farm all the souls you need in order to get an elite level. If you were to use the best soul farming method in the game, it would take anywhere from about an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half to get all the souls you need to get an elite level for a troop, even with the best method in the game. And in the long run of things, you would have to do that for every troop in the game. However, realistically, no one's going to be doing that anytime soon. It's a really long method. They never even expected anyone to actually finish upgrading all of them. And I think 0 people legitimately have the achievement currently. So I'm pretty sure some people will be getting it within the next few weeks. Like by the end of this month, I think someone will legitimately have the new achievement, the elite level 100 things. Actually, Zeddicus, are you still here? You were grinding at it quite a bit, weren't you? Because you said you had quite a few niches. How close are you on that achievement? If you're still here. Like, how many things do you have elite leveled? Because didn't you say you had like 8 niches or something? Or was it 6 niches? Still a lot of niche. Because I know with half that many, assuming you have 6, I have, I believe I have the capability to do 30 elite levels, I think it was. I was asking how many things do you have at elite level, just in total, towards the achievement. It doesn't matter what rarity they are. It just matters total. Right now, I think I have like 15, but I can do up to like 30 if I was to actually do them all. The easiest way to currently check your number is to go to your achievements if you're on Steam and click over to view all achievements. Or sorry, not view all achievements. My bad. Don't click view all achievements. Let's see, how do I go back? If you just go to achievements, it should show a progress bar on this one. I have 19 out of 100, but I believe I can do about 30 or so if I was to actually go and use all of them. Hello, Brainstorm. Welcome. Well, you don't have to count. You can instantly see the number. Unless you already have the achievement, which means you already have over 100. But if you don't have the achievement yet, you just have to go to that screen and it counts it for you. Also, you can sort by elite levels if you do want to count it manually. But it counts it for you just by going into the achievement thing. Unless you're on phone right now. But I'm pretty sure the first people will be reaching it by the end of the month. I don't think I will, though. I'll probably be halfway by the end of the month. But I'm not in any rush. The mechanic only came out like a few months ago anyways. We'll get it quicker than getting a Zugoff, which took a little over a year. We'll probably get it done in a little under a year. Oh, I believe that was level 44. I did say we'd hand out code at 44. Well, technically 45, but we're handing out a bit earlier than that. Let's see. Copy. There you guys go. There's the redeem code. Use it on gemsawar.com. Read the game code section. Your invite code can be found in your settings menu on the bottom right corner there, or bottom left. Well, the settings is bottom right, or I guess top right if you're in a battle, right over here. You guys know where it is. But put in that for invite code, or whatever your game says there is what you put in for invite code. Redeem code is the thing in chat. Just copy paste the random numbers and letters. Give same reward as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, and 2,500 gold. Enjoy, everyone, and no problem. I will have another one later tonight. I will be streaming in about 6 hours from now at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. we'll be messing around with pretty much what we're doing now. Doing our dailies, messing with the new hero class, going from there. So I think I might grab lunch/dinner soon. Actually, wait, have I anything today? I had something earlier. What was it? Why? Gosh, I can't even remember what I had for breakfast. I know I munched on something. I just was like in the... When I woke up, I was in like a mood of just grab whatever I first see. It wasn't a banana. I know, because I still have one left, and there was only one left last night. What did I have? I cannot remember. Gosh, that's bad. I have such short-term memory. No, codes only work for the PC mobile version, unfortunately. No console version does the code work for. Every single console version, it does not work. Also, I'm curious how long it'll take how long it'll take Gems of War to get onto the new consoles. PS5, Xbox Series X. And they won't need to worry about Nintendo because they're already on Nintendo. And even if Nintendo gets a pro version, it's going to be cross-platform. Or, you know, it's not going to be, it's just going to have higher graphics. It's not going to be separate from the normal Switch. Well, codes don't have too much resources. If you're missing them, it's not too big a deal for the most part. Like, the only really big value they have is the 1 gem key. They can farm that within, like, 10 minutes or less just by doing some treasure hunt. 49. Nice, Zeddicus. Very nice. Yeah, I'm at, like, the low 30s if I was to actually use all of them. Though my number currently shows us 19 because I haven't. So yeah, you're halfway there then. Or maybe even more than halfway because you probably have some that you haven't used. I'm pretty sure the first people will start getting that done by the end of this month. People that like grinding it out. I like to grind, I just don't want to grind that much. We'd have to grind Explorer. If we wanted to get all of it done by the end of this month, with how much progress I currently have, I think I'd have to grind Explorer for like 6 to 8 hours per day for the rest of this month, which I'm definitely not doing. However, we would have nearly every hero class maxed in the game at that point, if I was to do that. Because I believe I only have a little over 100 hours worth of hero class grinding left to do. So that would simultaneously max every hero class in the game if we were to do that. It's just way too tedious to bother doing though. And that's short of a duration. Like, I don't mind spreading it out over time. Just concentrating it that much that quick is just a bit much. Hello, Jonathan! Welcome. Oh, PS5 is going to be backwards compatible? Nice. Yeah, who knows? Maybe we will actually go get the other consoles. I haven't ever actually bought a PlayStation or a Xbox system before. Maybe I will this next generation. We'll see. Probably not. I highly doubt it. But if nothing else, the YouTube channel's large enough that if we were to do stuff on it, it wouldn't pay for the entirety of the console. But, you know, we would make some of the money back just from literally playing games on it. Though, honestly, I cannot think of a single exclusive ever that has existed on Xbox or PlayStation that I've really cared for or would go out of my way to buy, like, the console for. Because I'm a kind of person that doesn't care about graphics at all. And I feel like that's all Xbox and PlayStation tries doing. God of War? Oh, no, it's not really the kind of game I'd want to go play. Personally. Though it did win Game of the Year. Though I can't even recall the last time I've played a Game of the Year. I still haven't played The Legend of Zelda, or Breath of the Wild, I mean. Let's see, what is every game of the year for the last decade? I don't think I've played a single game of the year in the last decade. Let's see, what's every game of the year? Every game of the year. Let's see, let me go through every single one and see if I've played it. Where's the full list? More items. Someone just show me a quick list with no ads. Okay. 23 games a year. How long does it go to? Hopefully all the way to recent. Diablo, 1996. Never played it. I have played Diablo 2, though. Total Annihilation. Never played it. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I have played it. So there's one. Soul Calibur. Never played it. Chrono Cross and The Sims. Sims I have. Chrono Cross never have. Grand Theft Auto 3. Never played a single Grand Theft Auto. Let's see. Metroid Prime. I actually never played a Metroid game. The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. I have played it. World of Warcraft. Have played it very, very little, though. Resident Evil 4. Never played it. Gears of War. Never played it. Super Mario Galaxy. Never played it. Oddly enough. Metal Gear Solid 4. Never played it. Demon Souls. Never played it. Red Dead Redemption. Never played it. Nor do either of them interest me. The Elder Scrolls 5, never played it. Journey, never played it. Legends of Zelda: Link Between Worlds. How on earth did that win Game of the Year? And never played it. Middle-earth, never played it. The Witcher 3, never played it. Though I did start watching the series on Netflix while I was at a friend's house, while I was away on vacation. Overwatch, never played it. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, never played it. Red Dead Redemption 2, never played it. And Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, never played it. So, yeah, 2 of them. Ocarina of Time and Sims are the only 2 games that I've ever played that have won. Oh, and Wind Waker. So those 3 games are the only 3 games I've ever played that have won Game of the Year. And I'm probably going to be playing Breath of the Wild sometime in the near future. I definitely want to play it before Breath of the Wild 2 comes out. I don't know, a lot of these kind of games I don't really care for. There's just things about them that just don't really interest me, one reason or another. Yeah, people keep saying Bloodborne's good. Never played it, though. And I don't know enough about it for it to really interest me. I think it's mostly because a lot of these bigger games focus more so on graphics and story and not gameplay. They also tend to be more adventure-based, and I hate adventure and action-related things. I'm more of a strategy kind of person, but strategy games never win Game of the Year, pretty much. Like turn-based strategies or stuff like that. I don't think a single one of those was a turn-based strategy off that entire list I just read. Let's see, we'll grab that. Get a explosion there. I would definitely recommend buying it. There's just so many good games coming out that I don't really have the time, I don't think. Still so many other things I want to play. Also, the Mystery Dungeon ended up getting announced yesterday for Pokemon 2. Never did play any of the old ones, but I definitely want to try it. I've heard a lot of good things about them. Also, Animal Crossing coming out this March as well. Actually, they're both coming out this March. Gosh, 2 games in 1 month. I think they're almost coming out at the same time, too. It's like 1 week and then the other one's coming out like almost the other week. I'm kind of curious what's going to win Game of the Year this year, given that Nintendo hasn't really announced like their big release for this year, nor has any of the consoles, because they're probably waiting until, you know, next gen. So they're probably waiting till E3 or something. And a lot of them are going to come out so late in the year that it's technically going to be considered 2021. Kind of like how Smash is considered a 2020 game, even though it was released in previous year. I mean, a 2019 game, even though it was technically released in 2018. Yeah, Pokemon Red. I played every single one of the earlier ones up until, like, Pearl. And then I stopped forever, and then I played Sword and Shield. I haven't played it since I finished Pokédex, though. There's not enough endgame content for the game. Like, after you do some PvP and you complete out Pokédex, unless you're going to do a bunch of tedious grinding for shinies, there isn't really much endgame content. That's being fixed soon, though. Let's see, grab that for now. Oh yeah, I do need to get into the Final Fantasies. Final Fantasy is a game I would like. I've never played a single one, though. I don't feel like Cyberpunk would interest me, though, personally. But yeah, it does seem like it could win Game of the Year, even though it's not a game that would personally interest me. If I'm not mistaken, the next RPG I'm probably going to get into is Octopath Traveler. Too many people have been mentioning too many good things about it for me to not play it. I still haven't started it yet. I got it on a pretty good sale. I think it was only like 30-something bucks. I think 34 or something. I haven't played it yet because I want to do it all on stream. I want to finish Puzzle Quest, though, first. We still haven't finished the HD of Puzzle Quest, which I want to do. Just haven't had the time. But once we finally catch up on videos and start getting things situated after next week, I think we're going to finally start doing other games again. I just want to make sure I get completely caught up on Gems of War before I start doing that. And a few other personal things as well. You fell asleep playing Octopath? It's a good game, but man, old school JRPG grinding can get on your nerves. Does it have a lot of grinding? I know a friend that hates grinding that loved that game, which makes me think there might not be as much grinding. Because he would have despised it if it did have any amount of grinding. I generally don't mind grinding, though. Case in point, Gems of War. Oh, The Last of Us. I've heard of that. I've never played it, though. There's grinding if you want min-max. Oh, no. I'm going to have to grind like crazy then. I must min-max. I don't know. I'll see if I bother min-maxing or not. I probably won't. It depends what the difficulty curve of the game is. Also, by the time I play every single RPG I currently want to play, I'm pretty sure Xenoblade Chronicles 1 will be released. I end up playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and it's honestly one of my favorite RPGs I've ever played. And I never played the first one. Then I get to see why Shulk is in Smash. Oh yeah, I have heard of Temtem. Isn't that what was released on Steam or something? Didn't they make it free to play as well? They made it kind of like an MMO style Pokemon. I did hear advertisements for it and seen it around. I didn't bother trying it. I don't know, maybe I'll try it. It seems like a mix of Pokemon and Digimon combined with an MMO. Yeah, Xenoblade's a pretty solid series. I've only ever played the second game, though. I believe there's 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken. There's 1, 2, some other weird version, and I believe 10, for whatever reason. Which is kind of weird. But, I forget all the versions, but I've only played 2. And we'll be picking up 1 when it gets released. And I didn't stream the entirety of 2 on the channel, but I'll probably stream the entirety of 1. Is there that many Xenoblade games dated that back? Okay, I guess one of them being number 10 is legit then. I've always been a big fan of sci-fi, and Xenoblade has a nice mix of fantasy sci-fi. Yeah, I know for sure I'd like the Final Fantasy series. I just never got into it. It was because it seems so intimidating because of how many games there are. I also hate that there's just no convenient way to play all of them. Like, there's no way where you can just buy, like, a set of every single Final Fantasy that exists and play it all on one console. I don't believe there's any way that you can currently do that. Yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles pretty much is a single-player MMO, in a way. It has a very similar progression system to an MMO, but without as much of needless grind, and with no pay-to-win. You still grind, though, of course, but it's more of like a sped-up version of a grind. It's not like RuneScape where you need thousands of hours to max out an account. And then you can start playing the game. I always find that pretty funny in most MMOs. In that you basically have to max your account before you can actually start playing. The main thing I hate about MMOs is anything that requires things similar to raids. If it wasn't for that aspect of most MMOs, I would probably be more into MMOs. But raids and similar things to raids is what normally kills it. Like, I don't mind mini games that require cooperation, but specifically things that are really PvE-based raid-like things, where all the best loots are basically hidden behind having to do these forced content, I don't really care for. I also hate that most MMOs, even though they might have like side things where you can go and like have a whole crafting systems and stuff like that, I hate that most of it's based around PvE and not other aspects. I think RuneScape's probably like the biggest offender of that. They have about 3 times as many non-combat skills as combat skills, yet your combat skills are the only thing that matter in like 95% of content in the game. Can you play Gems of War on Windows tablet? Yes, you should be able to. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to. Probably would lag a bit more than compared to a PC, but it should be possible. Because I know my phone is pretty laggy when I try playing Gems of War on it. I don't ever use it for any purpose other than taking tribute more often than not. Just because it's way slower than using PC. Or at least with how my phone is. It's because it's not the best of phones. Because my PC is an actual proper PC, whereas my phone's just a pretty much basic bare minimum phone. I kind of find it funny because ever since I got this stronger PC, I haven't even really used it for anything that would justify having a stronger PC. Other than a small amount of video editing, but that doesn't really affect much. Then it makes it so our stream is more consistent. If nothing else, it made it so we could consistently stream at 1080p without ever dropping. Which is something I couldn't do before. You used to play World of Warcraft, you had fun on raids. Just gotta have a cool, good guild. I don't know, it requires too much communication. It's one of the reasons I kind of left MMOs as well. Because a lot of them have voice chats. Or basically require it to do good in them. And I just hate doing voice chats for games. I have 40 people raids, gosh. That is a very high number for that. I don't think I've ever done a raid in a game that was more than like 8 people, I think, or something. Have I ever played Skyrim Online? No. So what level are we at right now? 46? Should be about 46 by now. 45. How are we not at 46? Oh well. I think we'll end it once we get to 46 for now. Because I'm starting to get a bit hungry. Food. And then we'll be back in about 5.5 hours from now. Later tonight. So if anyone still has any other questions, do let me know. But yeah, biggest issue with MMOs is mostly their time sink, more so than anything. Most MMOs require a very large time sink. And I feel like updates end up killing out a lot of MMOs. It killed RuneScape the first time. It's starting to kill old school RuneScape. Or at least I personally feel like it does. And, I don't know. Sometimes constantly updating something isn't necessarily a good thing. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Does anyone play World of Warcraft Classic that they end up releasing? Has that been killed yet? Like, have updates killed it, or does it still feel like, generally like the classic version? Because I feel like old school RuneScape did that for a while, and then they eventually killed it by adding too many updates. It's still alive now, but I feel like over time it's not. They might need to make an old school RuneScape. RuneScape Legacy version. Like, most games like that do have to technically be a live service and that they have to update it to some degree. But I don't know, I just feel like a lot of things end up killing it with updates. Gems of War's been doing pretty good about not killing itself with updates for the most part. So it had some pretty controversial ones, like the graphic change that they had and a few others here and there. But there's never been a single update for Gems of War where I felt like it changed how the game plays in a way that was detrimental. Because it's still the same premise as when it was released. Just with a lot of things tacked on compared to its release. Explore rework might have gotten close to that. Well, it does force you to have to go to Explore. I wish they would bring PvP back as viability. I don't mind as much because people use really annoying teams in PvP. But they need to find a way to make Gems of War have PvP teams that are set more so like how Guild War teams are set. Really wish there was a way to see how much more XP we needed without having to go all the way into the other screen, which would waste like a whole minute. Yeah, daily colors for PvP would be pretty cool. Or maybe some kind of objective to have to set something. Like, hey, if you set this on this day or on this week, or probably on this day, like you'd get some kind of bonus or something. And the bonus would be so enticing that no one would not do it. Like, hey, build a team around Rowan today. Or build a team around, like, you know, it'll just keep shifting the troop. And it would also encourage people to get that troop. And it could be things based on the kingdom. So, for example, every single day could be a different troop that you would want to use from the kingdom. And it would just shuffle through a bunch of troops. Like, for example, right now it is a event for Forest of Thorns. So they could do something like, at bare minimum, or, you know, something to, like, make some different teams. What am I looking for Kingdom? Like make it so one day you have to use a Ore or Dryad on your team, or Gloomleaf, or Greenseer, you know, and just have it like every single day that changes to a different one. And probably don't include mythics, but they could probably include up to legends. And I don't know, something to make it different, so that people would actually be encouraged to set something that isn't meta. Or something that's ultra weak. Because right now, of course, the other issue is that it's actually the most efficient team for your defend is setting the weakest possible team you can. That's been an issue for the entirety of this game existing. So at least they've been consistent in that regard. But it's obviously not healthy for PvP, given that the best team is the worst team that you could possibly set. So it's a combination of people setting the worst teams in existence, while people also setting the best meta in existence. Which is not fun. PvP is just entirety of the easiest battles you ever have and the hardest battles you ever have. It's a very strange mix. And we should be within a dozen for that final level. Or I shouldn't say final, but for our final one of the stream. Did they nerf the color task? You haven't seen it on multiple accounts? I haven't gotten it for a while. However, I got it 4 times in a row before I left. I didn't end up mentioning this, I don't think, yet. But, remember when I got a 3 streak before I left? Well, I got another one the following day. I forget if it was 4 or 5 streak, but I believe it was a 4 streak. I ended up 4 days in a row at minimum getting the 150 color task. last month. It's definitely still possible. I got 4 in a row, which is very rare. It's like a 0.0001% chance or something for that to happen. The chance of it happening per day is 5% chance, assuming you clear your task every single day. If you do whatever your top daily gem is, you will have a 5% chance every day to get 150 kill task, which gives 100 gems rather than 20. Though, of course, you can go months without getting it if you get super unlucky. However, in theory, if you get about what the drop rate is, you should get one every month. A kill 150 color task, assuming you clear it every day. But, of course, you can have dry streaks. And, of course, you can have really lucky streaks like we had those 4 in a row last month. But I haven't gotten a single one since then. However, that was pretty recent. Like, that was, like, what, 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago? Yeah, like 2 weeks ago. It was, like, the week of Christmas. I almost thought they were doing, like, a special thing because it was happening so much. But, no, I was just getting absurdly lucky for whatever reason. But, yeah, it's just luck-based. 5% chance per day, assuming you clear it. And what I'm referring to, of course, is this top one up here. You'd want to make sure you clear every day. Otherwise, it doesn't reset to something else. But assuming you do this every single day, you have a 5% chance per day. You get 100 gems rather than 50. And you'll have a kill 150 color rather than the kill 100 anything. But anyways, anyone else have any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to be wrapping up for now. We'll be back, as I mentioned, 5.5 hours from now at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, as we do every night. And we'll mostly be messing around with our Archmagus a bit more, doing dailies, and I don't think we have much else to do, so mostly probably just getting Archmagus up a bit more. I ideally want to get this thing to level 70 by the time Purple Guild War gets here. Not sure if we'll actually reach it, but that is the goal ideally. But anyways, guys, hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. We'll cover more stuff with the game very soon with some videos. And do you know if they have any plans to add more cosmetics to your hero? Probably not. They've had trouble selling cosmetics for hero in the past, which has made it so they haven't really added more cosmetics for hero, because it's a really hard thing for them to sell in the game, and they've considered it not worth it in the past. I wish they would. Would love to have like a dragon kind of hero class thingy, or we have a hero class, but like an actual visual thing for it. But yeah, it would be pretty cool if they expanded upon it. However, their main reasoning behind it is money. For why they haven't, but maybe they'll eventually do it. Would be pretty cool because customization is pretty limited as it currently stands. But it's not currently within their plans, I know that for sure. But you never know, they might eventually do it. But anyways, guys, I will catch you guys later. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and thank you so much for stopping by. And we'll be back tonight, as I mentioned, 5.5 hours for now tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow. I'm not sure exactly what time tomorrow. Probably closer to noon again, like we did today. But anyways, guys, catch you later, and goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.